Okay, it's time for a brand new release from hot off the press, and this is called Mystical Florals, as you can see. And there's just some wonderful things here. In fact, we're going to be going through all of this, and we've got some beautiful projects like this. And what's even neater is when I open this up, that lifts. And I'll show you how to do that. Lots of great stuff for you today, so please come play with us. Now, before we get into those wonderful projects, let me just show you what we have here. And I'm just going to do it step by step. So let me slide these over, and we'll start with the 12 by 12 pattern. And there are 12 sheets. They are all double-sided. Plus, there are 50 cutouts. And just let me walk you through them. Here is the first sheet, as you could tell. And scrapbookers, you certainly know you're going to put your photos here. Card makers, you can cut this into quarters and make 4 cards out of every single sheet. And on the back, we have this. We keep the gold border. Here is the second sheet. And the back of this is that really pretty swirling background that's also on the front. Here is our next. So we have different colors, as you can see. We have greens and purples, as we have. And this has got some lace in it. And this is the back side of it. The back side always coordinates with the front, of course. And this has the flowers, so we're back to the greens. And then we've got all the ferns here. This is one sheet of cutouts, and these are what we call our mega cutouts. There are also 2 border strips that are obviously 12 inches wide, and these are just beautiful. You're going to see some great ways to use them. And on the back, we have an all-over print. These are the rest of the cutouts, and the reason why this is here is because we found a typo. Grateful is not spelled that way. It is spelled this way. So what you will find in your package is you will find 2 of these printed on heavy cardstock slipped into the package. So just wanted to let you know that we did catch that error and we fixed it. So this is, on the back of it, we have this light pattern. So all of these are in the 12 by 12. And just to show you, there's always, because this is hot off the press, you are always going to get some ideas on the package. So let me just bring that package and flip it over. There is a scrapbook page and there's a card, but I'm here to show you the scrapbook page because scrapbookers, we love you and we don't want to leave you out. So that is that first sheet. There is the photo that was first matted on the pattern cardstock, and then 2 of the solids, just to really give it some oomph. We have the border. This is one of the cutouts that's in the package and the papers. And then this is some of the chipboard. And look at that. That has been stamped with gold. How gorgeous. Look at that, and been etched with our gold fine tip pen. So very appropriate for a 50th wedding anniversary. So I just wanted to make sure that you saw that. Okay. In addition to our 12 by 12 pattern, of course, we have matching 12 by 12 solid cardstocks. There are 12 sheets, they're all double-sided, and there are 12 colors, and this is how we do it. So one sheet, or each sheet, is going to have one color on one side and a coordinating color on the other side. That's how we give you 12 sheets with 12 colors. So you can mix and match. It works really well if you happen to make cards out of these, because you will get one color on the outside and one color on the inside. Here is this teal with the white on the back, and then a green that has another green on the back. So you can see that that happens with a lot of them, and just beautiful, beautiful color range. And so that is our 12 by 12. Then we also have, of course, 6 by 6. Now, I'm not going to go through the papers again because you just saw them, but you are going to get 4 of every sheet, and you will also get the corrected pieces will be in the package, and you also get 100 cutouts in this package. So how great is that? Also, there is a card idea on the front. Now, we also have more, as you know. We have the die cuts. And there are 31 pieces to the die cuts. They are on 2 different sheets, just looks like this. They're just going to pop right out, just so easy. And like our cutouts in the paper pad, these have greetings on them. Some of them just have the art, and we do that so you can mix and match, you can layer them, and you may see some examples of that. And also, of course, there are some ideas on the packaging. So 2 card ideas on this, and they are just quite lovely, and they do give you an example of that layering. Now we also have more goodies, so let me show you. This is the chipboard, and the chipboard has 17 pieces on this 6x6 piece. We'll get an even closer. And just to show you how beautiful those are, in fact, here is, okay, we've got a close-up, which is great. You can see the border, that was stamped in gold. And you see all of these fine lines are etched in them. We work with a woman in Poland, actually, who does these for us, and she creates that that image for us, doing all of the lines, following our art. And this is what you can do. You can just follow it with your marker. It just makes the pieces look beautiful. In fact, this card is on the back of the package, so that's going to give you a head start in your creativity. You can also just leave them blank, just as they come, for a beautiful look, as you can see right next to that large cutout. Now we also have, of course, cutting dies, and let me grab my package. Oh my goodness, there it is. Okay, right here we've got 20 cutting dies. Now the cutting dies now have a special feature, and that is that they are thin cuts. And if we get in tight with this, I just want to show you what those thin cuts look like, just like that. They're finer than if they were debossed or embossed. And they do actually cut through the paper. It's not going to fall apart, though. We've designed it so that they're going to stay together. But you can see the fine detail that that gives us on all of our die cuts, our cutting dies. And it's a unique thing to Hot Off the Press. And of course, as you know, Hot Off the Press is only available here at Paper Wishes. Okay, now let's get into our projects that Debbie has done. And this was the first one that I showed you. Isn't that gorgeous, and isn't that fun that that levitates? Okay, let me just walk you through what she did, and we will start. This is the 12x12 cardstock, and she did cover the front of her card with the teal, and that's out of the solid. And then she used that pattern, and that is on the back of the large cutouts, as you can see. So that was there, and then she pulled this one. So this is the cutout. You can see it right there. That's the piece that she did, and that she did matte on the same paper, the solid paper that was used. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers that are going on there. Then she did used our oval. This is our oval cutting dies. Very, very handy. It has the scalloped and the solid. And she opened this up and die cut the oval out of the center. So in doing that, all you'll do, if you don't have a wide mouth die cutting machine, like most of us don't, that would take this 6.5 inches, but that's usually about 6 inches wide. So what you do is you turn this upside down and go all the way back, and then put your cutting die there, run it through the machine through the 5-inch width. Okay, so she did that. You can see that she inked the edges also, and then she created this piece that is going to be the stand of it. So this piece is separate, as you can see now, because that's been cut away. But here is the stand, and it is super simple. Some of you stampers probably know exactly how to do this, but for the rest of us, you'll want to cut a piece that is 6 inches long by 1 inch wide, and then you're going to score it at 1.5 inches. So you're going to hit 1, 2, 3 score lines, okay? Then you're going to fold these like so. And you can see how this is going to make a standing up piece. So let me show you what she did on the inside. So obviously, she covered the inside of her card first before she could place this. She did cut this out of one of the solids, and you're going to put tape or glue, either way. I like extra sticky tape, and you're going to do one whole side, and then you're going to do just the tip, just the half of the other end. This is going to go onto the base of the card. Hopefully this will make sense to you. Okay, so that's going to get glued, taped right in there. Then this little piece is going to get onto the opening here. That's why you only do half of it, because as you can see, you have to have half of it that's going to be free and raise up. So all of that, and then this piece is attached to the top of that. So that just becomes a little, just a really neat little piece that's going to go in that. And that's going to work for anything that you want to have standing up on the inside of any card. So Debbie just happened to have done this fancy one with this oval die cut in the center. Okay, so back to the front for a moment. Have an amazing day. This circle, anything is possible, all of those are in the die cut package. And then we're back to the chipboard. And aren't they beautiful? Again, they're so much easier to do because of all of those detailed lines. And Debbie used some of the markers. These happen to be the tri-blend markers, which I am told will be back on the market. So I'm kind of waiting for that to happen, but gold yellow, green turquoise, ice blue, and jade green, those three, as you can see, were used on the chipboard, and they were simply glued in place. You could foam tape also, that will work nicely. And I love how they just go right around that oval, just quite lovely. On the inside of her card, now you've already got that covered, she did put a border. And then she has the Dream Big. This is one of the die cuts just right there. So just a really striking card. I'm happy to share that with you, and that technique of that little riser on the inside. Okay, now we're going to go to our next card. This too is a 5 by 6.5, but this is vertical. And this one has a little piece that opens up. It tucks under this piece and opens up like so. Okay, now let me show you how this was done. So you're going to start with one card, and to create this angle, she measured 3 inches down, so not in half, but just 3 inches down, made a mark, and then drew a line with the ruler going up to the upper corner, and then removed that piece, okay? So that gets you that angle on the card front. Now for that wraparound piece, that is a little bit different. So taking a piece of white cardstock, and this piece is actually the size of, it's almost the size of my card, but it doesn't make any difference because you're going to measure over here about 6.5 inches, and then you're going to measure down 2 1/4, okay? So this is, that's what we're going to do. And then measure down 3 1/4, then draw a line, same way, from this point up to the upper left-hand corner. So that's going to create that triangle. It's a very exaggerated piece. But what she also did is to make this piece on the back. It's all one piece. Let me open this up so you can really see. Okay, you see how that's one piece? And this is what she did, is she measured 5 1/4 inches, and then she cut out so that she didn't have the bulk of it. Now that's your choice. You may not mind that. Just let it be one piece going to the back of your card. And you probably don't want to attach that until after your front is designed. So let me walk you through that. Okay, so here she has taken a green piece, and that is out of the pattern, and that went to the point. Okay. Then she did a purple piece. Remember, that was the lace that had it, so she wanted to show that. And then she has placed the gold pearl border dazzles. These are brand new. And you can see that she's got one there, one at the bottom, and then one also on that angled piece. Okay. Then she has, actually, let me show you. I did have these for you. So this is the green piece that's at the top. It's on the back of this one. Okay. So you can see those pieces. And the purple, well, it's on the back of the purple sheet. And remember, it has the lace. So that's going to go there. So these are the 6x6s. Okay. Just to backtrack just for a moment to get you through that. Now, in this is one of the die cuts. And you can see it's extending off of here. It is foam taped. And then she went back to using the cutting die with the solids. And you can see that this leaf spray, you can do that multiple times and really extend that out. Then there are some separate flowers that you can also die cut that will just go right on top, just to add that. These are some more of the ferns that's right down here. And she used these two colors of the solid cardstock. So that just gives you that rich, rich color. Here is where the Another Year, Happier with You is right there. And on the inside of her card, well, you know, before we get to the inside, I just want to show you what she did on this little piece that she would have cut. So you used part of it on the front, then you can use the other part on the back of this, make that look pretty. And then on this side, you can use the rest of this green that she used on the front. So that's going to work very nicely. And again, the Make-A-Wish, oh, that's on the sheet of die cuts right there. And just foam tape that. More of the gold pearl border. On the inside of her card, now because this is 6x6, it's a little bit wider than what our 5-inch wide card is. So she simply trimmed this and glued it there. And so she actually turned it this way so she could get that piece, and then glued it to the inside. We call that covering the inside. More of the cutting dies and another of the big die cuts. And you just want to make sure that this is covered up when the card is closed. This is another of the die cuts on 2 layers of foam tape, and then that will just slide right under. So you've got that going. Another good idea to remember for other cards too. Okay, I've got our next one. And here's what Debbie did. This is on a slimline tent card, and that's what Hunky Dory provides us. And you've seen these, I'm sure, because our team loves them. And the fold is at the top. That creates the tent part of it. Okay. Now what she has done, in fact, let's just look at it because it's really the outstanding part of this card, is this waterfall technique. And this comes from a cutting die. So let me just show you. I'm going to pull on the ribbon, and that is the waterfall. Just really, really fun. And all the pieces are here. And all the instructions are on the back of the package, so you can just follow right along, just very easy, including that lovely edge that is scalloped with holes in them. So that's going to work right very, very nicely. And cleverly, what Debbie did is she used the die cuts here. So Card Full of Love, that's a die cut. Thinking of You, that's one. Love You is another. Be Good to Yourself is another. And look, then she put one of the cutouts from the pattern pack on this tab. And these are all on the tent slimline. First, she covered it with the solid purple, as you can see. And then she used this piece. This is the 12x12. And how pretty, whoops, I'm going to turn it this way. How pretty that she used this area. And that's just really a good thing. This is going to show like this in the package, But you simply turn it and you're going to get a nice little cluster of flowers that's going to fit perfectly on this. And you can see that she has used the solid purple again here. And the back of this, or the front of these, is the back of one of the other papers. So you can see that light green. Then there is a border, and out of the purple ribbon, of course, that's going to give you that piece. And then she's also done some purple jewel dazzles, and you can just see them there. They're on the edge. They're in the center of the flowers, and they are on many of the waterfall techniques. So that is a gorgeous look. Okay, I have one more. She's been busy, hasn't she? And isn't this gorgeous? How pretty. Just another example of how you can turn the papers and have something look very, very different. And this is also out of that first sheet, out of the paper pack. And this is taking one section of it. And so she covered her 5 by 6.5 inch card. And then she did some inking on the edges. And in this case, she used the khaki. Okay, so that's going to give you that, just that kind of smoky edge. It's going to be very nice. Now, this is where I'm grateful. I didn't catch it when I showed this before, but this will be fixed. So this will be our new grateful that will be correct. And I will fix that shortly. And then we have another one here. Now, those are on the sheet that's in the package. So, and there it is. So, whoops. So there's our grateful that's going to be fixed. And then the other little piece is right there. And you can see, and she matted that on purple. And that's another good thing that I should point out, is that this is where we did it in green, but if that doesn't work for you, you can trim the edge and mat it on one of the solids. And that's exactly what Debbie did right there. Now, while we're here, don't you just love those ferns that curl? I love them in real life, and I think they're terrific here. Well, that was done, of course, with the cutting die. So we've got those tendrils of ferns, and plus the big tri-leaf of ferns. And so that was put down, and then the swirling. And then some of the flowers were also cut out. And this is the border, the jewel border dies. So there we go. And you can see that this is the copper, and just placed there with all of these pieces on it. So you kind of have this peekaboo effect going on that is so pretty. Now for the inside of this card, okay, so this is just, so that was one piece of that first sheet, and then she turned it, and this is the other piece. So that worked nicely. This again is one of the large cutouts. There you go, you get that with the paper pack. Again, the the oval border dazzles. And then she did cut out one of the flowers from the papers and foam taped it there. You could have also used one of the chipboard pieces or the cutting die. But I love that play of the light and dark green. So this is one side of the green, and there's the other. And that's how you get that beautiful effect with one sheet of paper. Way to go. Yay. So that's what I have to share with you of our mystical florals. We have the solid cardstock. We have the 12 by 12. We have the 6 by 6. We have the die cuts, this whole package. And we have the chipboard. And we have those wonderful cutting dies. All of those, all coordinated. And that's what's so great about getting a set like this, is that everything is going to work together. They're all designed. And if we make a mistake in our spelling, we will fix it. We promise we will fix it. So that works nicely. Now, all of this is available on a money saver. That's over on the right-hand side of your screen. The other thing I want to share is that we do a brand new collection with 6 pieces like this every single month. So if you would like to join us, we have a subscription. I'm sure that's not surprising. If you wanted to have all of these, including the cutting die, we call it I Really Want It All. And what you're going to get is 20% off the retail price. That's a good deal to begin with. You will also receive these before the webisode And what's great is that we've given you ideas on the back of the packaging so you can get started right away, and that's really nice. Then you can see the webisode and get 4 more ideas. Now, if the cutting die is not to your fancy, you can just get the I want it all. Not the I really want it, but the I want it. Same deal, 20% off. You're going to get it, the whole package, before the webisode, and that will just give you a good place to start, and you won't miss a thing, and you will have 12 new sets at the end of the year. So that's great. Now, if you happen to have signed up for our VIP program, now that you do that at checkout, you don't have to do anything except put your name in for it. And what happens is that the system will track your purchases. And when they reach $500, you will be part of our VIP program. And what that means is that every month you will get preview sheets of the collection that we're doing. In this case, this is the Mystical Florals. You're going to get 2 sheets of every single one of those sheets that's in the package. So that's a great deal. And you'll have a promo code there. The other thing we will do is that beginning of the month, if you are getting our emails, you will get this free cutout piece. It will be emailed to you. And grateful is spelled correctly, I will point out. And this is just giving you a bit of the cutouts from the set, and this is free to you. So that's something that's free. That's something that's free with purchase. And you can also do the subscription. So all of those are available. And if you want to, you can go down, you can see each of the cards, and you can click on them. You can see the listing of supplies that Debbie used, and that will work very, very nicely for you. So this is what we have for this month. We're very pleased with it, and I think it's going to do really nicely for you. You can see lots of ways that you can use these beautiful, beautiful papers. Okay, if you happen to be watching us on YouTube, we'd love it if you would subscribe, leave a comment. Then head on over to Paper Wishes, because that's the only place on the planet that you can get these. That's right. They're exclusive to us, and as all of the Hot Off the Press products are. So that is available to you too. If you'd like to leave a comment, just go down below, scroll, 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 scroll. You can leave a comment. You don't have to make a purchase to leave it, but we'd love to know what you think. So that would be great. Okay, I want to thank Debbie. The woman is so creative, and that's wonderful for all of us. But especially, I want to thank you for being part of our Paper Wishes family. So see you again, probably tomorrow. Bye-bye.